everything we talked about in this episode is pretty much what we're going to be working on the next few days.
We create revenue using the internet.
Right. That's what we do.
There's so many new tools that you can do very well and support yourself at home using the internet.
Look at the things that I'm not the expert in and pay that extra money to hire an expert to do it versus struggling through it an entire other year.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Fuck Your Podcast. I'm Emma Pardo.
And I'm Katy Martin. And today we're going to share some fun stuff that we did on our site visit with our client and what that looks like. So when I say fun stuff, it's all the marketing stuff that we do. So helping somebody build their marketing plan for next year and what does that look like. So I hope everybody listens to this because it'll make you really think about all the different areas of marketing that you might be doing, you could do a little bit better, where you might need to make some changes or integrating some new stuff. So how did you feel about our first site visit? This was your first site visit, our first one.
My first, yeah. I thought it went really well. It was like super exciting to see it all connect for the client, especially since we're not in touch with them on a daily basis. But I mean, you more so on the coaching side than anything. And on the marketing side, we're just kind of fulfilling the 2023 marketing strategy because they did sign with us in 2023. But seeing it connect and go like making the connection of we're doing all of this and we can push you to here, but having that connection with them as far as where their company is at, because we can only do so much. They have to be I don't know how to, what I can compare it to. They have to be the conductor. We have to be everybody else that fulfills. So that literally by far was my favorite part, was just seeing it all come together and go, we're doing this for a reason. And this is where it's going to get you. But overall, I thought it went really well. It was fun. Yeah. So, I've never been to Louisiana.
No, I hadn't either. I'd never been to Louisiana. And surprisingly, it was not as ridiculously hot as we thought it was going to be, which it's hot. You're accustomed to. But like right now, as we're recording, I think the high today in St. Louis is like 70.
Yeah, we're about 10 degrees hotter. I think it's like low 80s. The rest of the week is a high. And then
that's still tolerable. Good. Sorry, yawning on the podcast. I just don't really feel well today. It's one of those days.
That was me yesterday.
Was it?
Yeah.
So going through like things that we went through with the client, or probably think about, but what are like some of the metrics to really start analyzing your marketing and your sales, because those are hand in hand. That's like one pillar of the company, and you're not going to get sales without leads. So hopefully all of you are tracking your revenue in a CRM of some sort where you can track your overall opportunities versus actual customers, or looking at your year-to-date leads versus your year-to-date sales. So what does that number really give us? The importance of looking at that is overall as an organization, how well your opportunities convert. So how many leads does it take to generate the sales that you have for the year? And can that be improved upon? Reviewing your sales, reviewing your leads, and reviewing your lead sources. So like where opportunities are coming from. And, we can tie this directly to roofing because that's a lot of the clients that we have. So how many, like where are you spending money that it's actually getting you a better return? Are you going to have some lead sources that are going to be more expensive than others? Yes. Are you going to have some that are virtually free? Yeah. That can also show you is continuing. Well, and let's take that a step back. There's no lead source that's really free. If you're getting referrals, you're doing a really, really good job with your customers, or somebody's asking for them. So there's sweat equity in that. There's quality, there's time investment, networking groups or other referral sources. So none of those are really free. Somebody had to spend the time to nurture the list or meet the contact or, all of that stuff. There are things that you directly pay for. If you're doing social media on your own, there's time invested into that. If you're paying an agency to do your social media, there's money, direct money in exchange for your time you're buying back that you're spending on them. And, what kind of growth are you seeing from your audience that turns into leads? So we go through everything. I have a list here. So we even started with just, the basics of a SWOT analysis and what that entails. So I know that's something that you learn more on the formal end of marketing, but when you were in school, what do you feel like that's valuable for people to look at on a regular basis?
Absolutely. Because you're kind of, going based off of it's research. It's not like it's just a guess or an opinion or any of that stuff. It's legitimate research. It helps you niche down your company and find out where you really want to target.
Yeah.
Whether that's the same as your competitors is a different story, but it really makes you take a step back and understand what kind of angles you can hit as far as marketing is concerned. What kind of revenue can you potentially bring in? Where can you kind of outdo your competitors and where can you protect yourself, right?
Yeah.
So it just, like I said, it helps you take a step back because when you look at it at face value, when you look at a company like a roofing company, you're going, okay, we need to talk to homeowners. We do this and we do that. And taking a step back going, okay, these are our strong points. These are our weak points. What can we do to make these weak points less weak? What can we do to emphasize these strong points? And then when you look at the competitors, you see where they're at and kind of learn from their mistakes or try and like, I don't know how to describe it. Like force yourself through where maybe they're not hitting.
Right.
So finding undiscovered potential leads or opportunities to where you can grow that much more. And then looking at the threats that are against you as far as a company is concerned and going, okay, what can we put in place to protect ourselves from that or lessen that threat? And when you figure all that out and you put all the things in motion, it's really hard to not reach goals, you know?
Yeah.
You have to actually try to not reach your goal if you're not going to figure that stuff out first.
I think one of the things that you mentioned that I don't really think people avoid because it's painful is what can we just improve upon that is working as opposed to saying maybe it's not working quite where you want it to. So a lot of people will go into the next year and they think about building a marketing plan like you're going to throw everything in the garbage and start from scratch. But it's that you do have to look at missed opportunities. But like, let's say you're a door knocking organization and the majority of the leads that you get are from your sales reps or they're from referrals or word of mouth. You're not doing a ton digitally. Maybe you're not spending a ton on ad spend. And so your customer experience isn't quite up to par. And that's preventing you from getting as many referrals as maybe you did the prior year. Like, yeah, you got to fix that. Like that's almost something internally, but improving the customer experience or making adjustments to some of your marketing sources, there's a lot of pain associated with that. So a lot of people are like, fuck it, we'll just do something different. And it's not always about doing something different. It could be take what you're already doing, make it a little bit better. And then, like you said, look for those opportunities that you're missing. You know, look at the digital sources. You know, what could you be doing a little bit more of or better, or look at the things that you know I'm not the expert in and pay that extra money to hire an expert to do it versus struggling through it an entire other year. So we broke down everything. Like, what are the three, you know, we went through the knowing who your client is. I know we've talked about that in the past, so I'm not really going to beat a dead horse at this point. If you own a business, you should know who your target market is. And as much as we've talked about it, and unless you're changing directions, like there are instances where a company can change directions and they say, hey, we're not going to offer this particular service anymore. We're going to focus more on these 3 other services. So that could change, you know, who your target market is. You know, what are the 3 unique things about you versus your competition and how you can lean into that. All of again, reviewing what your proven processes are. So like what has worked and making that more of your top priority and what you could do if it's worked and you got a good return on it, how can you increase that? And then also from a marketing and PR standpoint, like as a company, what's your guarantee? Like when you provide something, what can you communicate clearly? You know, what can you communicate clearly to every single potential customer that working with you is going to do X? Like it is going to solve what problem? You're going to have this level of satisfaction, like whatever your confident guarantee is. Because then you communicate that throughout all of your, you know, your online presence. And a lot of people, I mean, hell, we went through everything. I mean, so let's just think of a list of different avenues right now where we do digital marketing. So all of our clients have a website. They're doing some sort of SEO, but you have all your social media channels. You know, one thing I would like to see out of all the things that we focus on. So we focus on Facebook, Instagram, Google My Business, Yelp, LinkedIn, YouTube, TikTok. How many roofing companies are getting anything from Twitter? Or are they really spending any time on it?
Twitter itself, I think, is a sensitive subject.
Yeah.
Twitter is where you find news. Twitter is where you find opinion. Twitter is where you find entertainment.
Yeah.
But I don't go to Twitter to shop.
No,
I don't go to Twitter
I hardly ever use it.
No, I don't go to Twitter for businesses necessarily, right? Yeah. I go to Twitter to see what people I'm following, and that's news sources, famous people, and friends from high school, because I don't use Twitter anymore.
Yeah.
Cole got rid of Twitter. Like he's like, I never use it, and I was using it and got sucked into like
Political
politics back in 2016, and so he deleted it because he was like, this is stupid. But I've never heard of anybody that goes, or I go to Twitter to find my roofing company. No.
Yeah, you know, what's funny is when all of that stuff was brand new. What year did Twitter come out? Well, Facebook was like 2008.
I
So
can search this up right now.
let's do it. Let's look.
Let's see. When was Twitter created? Was 2006.
2006. Okay. So that would have been during the times of MySpace. When was Facebook created? Facebook.
2004.
No shit.
Yeah.
Huh, I wouldn't have guessed
I
that.
was 6 years old.
Oh my God. 2004. I don't even know if I got on social media. I don't think I even had a social media profile until after Miles was born. So that would have been 2006. But I do remember a lot of companies using Twitter because it's like, oh, we should be doing that. But but it's,
well, it was a hot thing back then.
Yeah, it's all there was, you know, besides.
And Elon Musk is trying to bring it back in some way, but it's just in my opinion, if you want my honest opinion, I think Elon Musk buying Twitter was just a platform to get people talking about Elon Musk. That was his strategy, was like,
maybe
let's get people talking about me. Let me own this platform. And that's why he did the whole rebrand to X.
Well, I know, but
and that's why
it's like tanking
Twitter.
At least that's what I thought. That's what I thought I had read.
Which is so crazy that we even still call it Twitter.
Everybody, if you put in twitter.com, it still takes you there. I mean, I know that they.
Well, yeah, I'm sure it does a redirect. It's still technically Twitter, but it's rebranded as X.
I know, which is dumb. I'm gonna sign in.
Yeah,
I just want to see what it looks like because I haven't been on it in a million years. But you're right. I only ever use Twitter for like some of the podcasts that I listen to. They will, like a pop culture podcast, they will have a Twitter account. Celebrities, news outlets. Yeah, that's about it. I honestly I had Twitter and I didn't really do anything with it. My kids were on Twitter up until just a few years ago. I honestly think the younger generation a lot of them got off Twitter when Donald Trump was president. Because at that point, that's the only reason I had it. Like,
let me look, because this is gonna. I know we kind of spiraled on. We went from a client visit. Now we're talking about Twitter.
Well, we're talking about marketing. I'm just curious, like, what do people actually get out of it from a marketing standpoint if you don't have a personal brand or you're a celebrity of some sort? So I can't imagine, like, they have communities, which I guess are kind of like, I follow like 2 super nerdy communities, which to me, I could get the same content from my Reddit feed, but I just don't see businesses like selling.
No, I don't want to know profit. I want to know users. Twitter tanked pretty hard in 2018.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks like it's on Twitter now this was until 2022, that is, has been the highest it's been since it's been created I mean, Best
Damn Roofer comes up a lot, but he's basically entertainment at this point.
He's probably entertainment and news source for the roofing industry.
Yeah. So yeah, Best Damn Roofer is all funny shit, right? But when you type in roofing, like, yeah, there's some materials, like material manufacturers, but I don't see any.
The thing I liked about Twitter, though, is that you could post as many times as you wanted on Twitter and people wouldn't think a thing.
Right.
It didn't mess with the algorithm. It just showed up.
So much judgment associated with Facebook. It's bananas.
Well, what's so crazy is that reading and trying to come up with Facebook strategy for clients and working around the fact that Facebook, and this is smart for their revenue, has blocked most organic. If you create it as a page, like a business page, it's basically giving Facebook the flag on your account to go, okay, we won't push this organic content because they want you to pay.
Yeah. Right. They want you to pay
post.
So if you
it's boosting Facebook revenue.
Yeah, which is why it's frustrating not only for content creators but companies that are doing it on their own. If they get a lot of traction and they start to see a lot of engagement, and then out of nowhere it tanks, that's 100% Facebook just saying, nope, we're tired of showing your stuff to people because you're not earning that, you're not paying for that. So it's
same for Instagram, because Instagram's bought by Facebook,
right? But yeah, Twitter, I have nothing good on here that I wouldn't follow. Like, I'm not going to get on Twitter and scroll through and find all of the same people that I'm freaking following on Facebook. Because for a while you couldn't post pictures, right? And then like pictures were just within the last, few years. I mean, when Twitter first started, you couldn't post pictures. And now oh my God, I found an ad. First ad, Amazon. Yeah, I saw an ad. Yeah, news articles, sports. I mean, that's primarily my feed. But yeah, that's so anyway, we don't encourage Twitter. If you have it, okay, that's great. I'd like to have a poll. Let's do that. Let's put that in our women in roofing group. Let's start a poll. How many people have generated leads from Twitter and
Okay.
see if they vote? And then I've gotten leads from Twitter, or I don't even have a Twitter account. I'm just curious.
I don't even think Twitter is just not like, it's not for small business.
No, it doesn't make sense
It's
at
for
all.
personal brand.
Yeah, personal brand I can totally see. So a personal brand, again, direct like an actor, an actress, musician, like that kind of stuff. But I don't. I wonder how many Snapchat still use a decent amount, but we don't necessarily use it for a roofing company. Like personally, yeah. But are there things that you could do with Snapchat from a home service?
You could. It's just
you're
going to be putting in a lot of time trying to get that off the ground.
One thing I would encourage. So this was I can't take credit for this, but this was something that Alex, another friend of ours, who he showed me. I never would have thought of. Like I was only on Snapchat to follow my kids and what they were doing. But he uses Snapchat pretty regularly. And again, younger demographic, people still in their like 20s, early 30s. If you are a roofing company that focuses on any kind of storm damage, let's say hail damage, wind damage, hurricane, whatever, if you focus on storm restoration, if you look at a map when a storm is going through or right after it's done, you're going to be able to find on Snap Maps people posting about it. Like, and that was the one benefit of Twitter that I would look at Twitter. I would look at the news outlets right after a storm just to see where the news was reporting that decent sized hail fell, because people take a picture of it and they post it on.
So
Instagram.
You're saying using it as market research, not
market
marketing.
research. Yeah. Like you're using it to verify areas to market to. So back in the day, you could buy a hail, which people still do. You get a hail swath, you go out and drive the neighborhoods, you try to find where there's damage, or do you want to see in real time where it's happening? And I did that with Snapchat and Twitter. Twitter still, it'd be delayed because I only focused on looking at the news outlets, like the local news outlets, because they would take pictures. If you get baseball size hail, I mean, someone's going to everyone's taking a picture of it and posting it on their social media. Now you can't search for that. You can, the Winsville storm that came through, I was able to search on Facebook and find people that, find where people were verifying the hail. But Snapchat was the cool thing, is because you could see it in real time and people were posting videos, so you could see how big the hail was. But as far as running paid ads, I think we did test running some paid Snapchat ads. I don't really think it got anything of it. It was super cheap. It's like we only spent a couple $100, but it didn't generate a lead, because again, think of the age demographic of people that are on Snapchat. The kids are still going to go out and say, hey, look at the hail that fell, but they're not the ones making a purchase for a house. So, they're like making a decision on a construction company. Yeah. And I think companies that have avoided social media of any kind up to this point, you're going to miss out, because by the time you jump on, like something new is going to come about. like the whole landscape of even like LinkedIn is changing. But right now you're still going, like there are going to be other social media platforms that are going to have more people on as older generations start to, I hate to say it, start to die. You're going to see a shift as older generations kind of phase out and younger generations come in. Same thing with door knocking. Like now there's Ring cameras. It makes,
take a look at our company, for example.
Right.
I mean, being you and I are both younger generations, we create revenue using the internet.
Right. That's what we do.
There's so many new tools that you can do very well and support yourself at home using the internet.
How often do we?
In the internet? Oh, I swear, the day that they start charging more for internet, charging the actual value, like especially to people like us, pay $65 a month, and that could be, if I never wanted to like use a software and do marketing, all my own research, and just needed internet, I'd pay $65 would be my overhead for what I pay for my internet speed.
Exactly.
That would be it. Like I'm making how much more than that percentage wise? You know what I mean? There's always something new that's coming. And that's like, look how easy we've made it as a younger generation. And the generation just keep getting younger.
Well, that in your online presence, I mean, most people want to shop online. Most people, phone books aren't a thing anymore. Like even if they're gonna call you, they're gonna look you up online first. So having the most robust online presence is in your best interest. Now, can you still create streams of leads and streams of revenue from some traditional methods? Yeah. So maxing out, referral sources are gonna be one of the easiest and cheapest things once you get them going. So we talked about, not only did we go through all the online presence, and that client that we went to visit, they don't have Twitter. We're not going to put it in place, but we did talk about all of maximizing what they did have, but your referral programs, there are like 4. So we talked about just your general customer referrals. Like, what do you give a customer, or do you have a referral program? Like something that's outlined. I know that some people are like, oh, I don't like to give cash because it feels so cheap. Well, that's what people want. Like, you got to give people what they want. So giving cash for referrals. And then also, are there other trades people that can give you referrals? So there were 4 different types, like having your direct customer referral program, having something in your customer experience that just generates more referrals. So something that's like a differentiator. So it's not necessarily a marketing technique. It might be a fulfillment, like something in your fulfillment that would elevate your customer's experience to then give more referrals. And then you have referral partners. So people who give you referrals regularly because they're also in some sort of business, like a real estate agent or an insurance broker. And then like what Crystal talks about with power partners, which are like upgraded referral sources. They're not just giving you a lead, they're giving you 80% of a signed job. So, and that could be people you partner with, like strategic partnerships with solar companies, HVAC companies, tree companies, where you kind of go through like a 1-day training on both sides, where you could basically pre-sell a job for one another, and then you get paid a bigger percentage, or you pay them a bigger percentage. You might pay them something close to like a real commission, and you refer them back and forth. So like those are all areas, how can you integrate all of that? What could you be doing better? What could you be doing different in 2024? And I just tell people, just brain dump, get a whiteboard and start with your stats. Where are you year to date in sales? Where are you year to date in leads? And then go through all the pieces that we talked about. Where are you currently relevant? Where could you maximize more effort? And what something kind of new and creative do you want to add to it? And then you can look at, all right, awesome. What does that look like from a budget standpoint? What do I need to outsource versus what can I do what can I do for myself? And reviewing it every quarter. I mean, really looking at performance every month, but like really looking at your overall plan and going into the next quarter, what are we actually going to implement in Q2, and you start thinking about that and putting that in place in Q1.
Right. Like we mentioned in the power through or phone it in episode is, I mean, essentially you should be doing that for each quarter, right? You don't want to just say, okay, we're going to do this starting Q1 and then let it fizzle out. What are you going to do to improve it? What are you going to do that's pushing the company that much further in Q2? Or what can you review from Q1 that you could change in Q2 to make it that much better?
Right. Yep. Pretty short and sweet. We're doing this a lot with clients this week and next week. So everything we talked about in this episode is pretty much what we're going to be working on the next few days. So if you have any questions, anything that you want to ask us specifically about, building your marketing plan or what you should be looking at or reviewing going into next year, reach out to us over the next couple weeks, because that's what our primary focus is with all of our clients.
Yep, absolutely. So if you want to hear a topic, just need some advice, just want to chat, you could reach out to us on Instagram at F__K your pod, or you can email me at Emma@99creatives or Katy
at Katy at 99 Creatives.
It's Q4. It's happening.
Right.
Now's the time. I know we talked about it the last episode. Now's the time to get 2024 in order, because it's going to be here before you know it.
That is correct.
So don't forget to plan 2024, but also don't forget to do the damn thing. Okay, bye.
Adios.